Welcome back to the Y'all Show, broadcasting from Country Radio Seminar, the 50th radio seminar in Nashville, Tennessee. We're joined by, honestly, my favorite all-time band in country music, Shenandoah. We've got Marty Raybon and Mike McGuire from the band, and we are so glad y'all could join us here.
Thank you, brother.
We appreciate
Good to be
you,
here.
John. Thanks.
And I know that y'all are still going, and I'm excited about that.
Well, you know what's really exciting to hear about that? I didn't know that this is the 50th.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we've been a band and have had
We've done 30 of them, I bet.
Well, 31. We're working on our 31st year now, and so we're on our way to 31 of these, and man, that's pretty neat.
Sure enough, yes.
Yeah. Well, of course, Shenandoah, for those who may not have been studying up on their Shenandoah history lately, y'all got it going back in the 80s. One of the great things about y'all didn't record in Nashville. Y'all recorded it.
No, we did eventually come to Nashville. We cut our first 3 albums in Muscle Shoals.
I'm talking at Fame where y'all.
That's right. Yeah.
Right, uh-huh.
Yeah, we recorded all of our biggest hits, the early hits like Next to You, Next to Me, and 2 Dozen Roses, and Sunday in the South, and all those early hits we had were all down in Muscle Shoals.
And your Nashville albums were good.
Well, thank you.
But I really like those Muscle Shoals albums.
Hey, we did too. Hey, you know what? I'm glad you brought that up because it looks like we're fixing to go in the studio with Mac McAnally and record again at Fame in 2 weeks.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, that is exciting. Now, I know y'all have got new music. We want to promote that, but let's take people back to the 1980s when y'all were just getting going. And did you really, this is a radio seminar, did y'all really come up here and have to kiss up to get a record deal, or did it just kind of fall in place for you?
No. Actually, we had already had a record deal before we came up here. We had been signed with a production company that was signed with CBS Records, or they had a collaboration as a production deal along with a label deal with CBS. And so therefore, by the time we came up, we had signed our deal. We had our first record in 88. And in fact, in '88, when we did the New Faces show, and then the next year was '89, and at that time, you know, we had She Doesn't Cry Anymore had gone to number 10.
No, number 9.
The top 10. Yeah, it was number 9, but it was in the top 10.
But number 1 in our hearts.
That's right. Hey, we were surprised as anybody when that song went top 10.
And then all of a sudden, when '89 rolled around after the New Faces thing, there came
Mama Knows.
Mama Knows, Church on Cumberland Road, Sunday South, 2 Dozen Roses.
Let me tell you about y'all's repertoire, okay? No,
All right.
no, I love it, and y'all have done a great job. I'm going to give you the credit, but I believe you've been the webmaster. That at least a few years ago, you had all the chronicles of y'all's.
Oh yeah, you talking about the Shenandoah Diaries?
Yeah,
I wrote all
where
those.
you broke down on the interstate in Texas, and y'all are pretty much.
I've got so many more stories to tell. I just don't have time to write them. But eventually, I'm going to write all of them down. Just because I just feel like if I don't write them all down, it'll all be forgotten one day when we're dead and gone. And I just
don't
like
die.
Well, I'm trying to put that off as long as possible.
Oh, we love talking to these guys. We got Marty and Mike from Shenandoah. You got to make sure you say it right. Some people say Shenandoah.
Spell it right, actually.
Yeah,
we've seen it spelled every way it can be spelled.
And heard it pronounced every way it can be pronounced.
Yeah, well, we just love having y'all around and music still. And look, as I told T.G. Shepherd, this is a great radio seminar, and we love our music format. But frankly, it's wonderful to see the veterans like y'all here. You're not too big for CRS.
No, we never felt that way. I think it's the way our folks raised us. We don't get uppity. We don't feel uppity at all. I know a lot of people might feel like that when they have a few hit records, but we just never did.
And y'all continued to all live in Muscle Shoals.
Yeah, we sure did.
Yeah. So you probably ran into each other at the Walmart down there on 72.
Oh, yeah. Music store, Walmart. Anywhere
we stayed friends all these years, even when Marty was gone. It wasn't like we weren't,
Because you were doing the gospel thing. You and your brother did the Raybon Brothers.
And then doing the bluegrass stuff as well, too. So the thing about it is it parlayed right into seeing where we started seeing some things change when we started putting records out, and then all of a sudden it started seeing to us that that man, this show was selling out, and this show's selling out, and that show's selling out, and the next thing you said, well, look, if we're going to do a record and let people know we got new music, and let folks know that we're not done yet, then probably the best bet we need to do is maybe get a production company and I mean a promotion company, and man, let's try out radio and let's see what we can do. Look, we know good and well that we ain't gonna get no #1 records or anything like that, but at least we can draw some attention to what we're doing. And let everybody know that we're still at it.
I'll tell you what was flattering to us was coming back, this second time around and finding out there's so many of these young acts, that are singing our music. I mean, we'd get videos sent to us from who all was it, Marty? It was Miranda Lambert and Aldine. Several folks would send us videos. They were singing
Luke
Sunday in the
Bryant.
South. They were singing Sunday in the South in their shows. I mean, in these civic centers, and Miranda's folks called Marty. He went and sung on a song that she wrote on the Platinum album called Another Sunday in the South. Marty came in and sung on the outro of that, and we become friends with Michael Ray and
he was in
Jake Owen.
The latest video we did, he was in the video with us.
Yeah, but the way all this started, I mean, when Marty came back, what happened? We got a call from Jay DeMarcus. It turns out Rascal Flat guys were big fans of ours too, and Jay called and said, "Man, I heard Marty's back. Is that true?" And I said, "Yeah, sure is." And he said, "Man, let me take you out to the studio and let's cut a few sides and see if we can't get a record deal." That's kind of how this whole thing started out.
Well, I don't see how you can't be a fan of Shenandoah.
Well,
and by the way, I know Sunday in the South is an awesome song, but this song that we're about to play has to be the most played Shenandoah song. I hear it all the time, and I wish I would have had a hand in writing it. It's 24 Roses.
Oh, yeah, that's the big favorite.
Well, in fact, the fellow we're talking about that we're going to be doing this new record with here in a couple of weeks.
He wrote it.
He and Robert Byrne was the writer on writers. He was one of the writers on this song.
Let me tell this story real quick, Marty, because I asked Mac about this 3 times to make sure I wasn't getting this wrong, but when we were cutting that first album, Mac said that Marty had came up to him in the studio and said, "Mac, man, I wish you'd really write something I could sink my teeth into." And Mac said he went back to his house, had that on his mind that night, and went to bed. And he woke up in the middle of the morning, like 3 o'clock in the morning, and had dreamed the first verse and chorus of 24. Dreamed it. And he said, "I always kept a little recorder on my nightstand, and I just reached over and sung it and went back to sleep."
Well, this is Valentine's Day. What an appropriate song to play here. What color roses would you want if you had 24 roses?
Well, I red's the traditional ones.
What about you?
Honest and truly, my wife kind of likes the yellow ones.
Well, what about you?
Well,
whatever she likes.
Like I say, I would have to like the yellow ones.
Well, here's 24 Roses from Shenandoah. What a great song, taking you back to 1989, if I think I'm right.
89, that's right.
With Shenandoah, we got Marty and Mike here from the band, and they're just continuing to do a great job. Now, this is the Y'all Show where we talk about all things South, and I want to pick on you, and I want to pick on you. First of all, who wants to go first?
Don't matter to me.
All
What's
right,
the question?
You win.
All right.
You're a diehard Alabama Crimson Tide
Roll
guy.
Tide.
And we cover the Crimson Tide here on the Y'all Show. We cover sports, music, cooking, food, politics, whatever. So if y'all would rather talk about something else. Are you okay? Have you had to seek a little help the last couple of weeks with the championship game?
With us losing the game, losing the national championship, well, it sucks to lose, I'll have to say. But I understand why so many folks want to see Alabama lose. I feel the same way toward the New England Patriots. They win all the time, and I can't stand it. I want them to lose. And I know that I understand why people pull against Alabama because we win all the time.
But you have a reason to pull for Alabama. You're from there.
We're from Alabama. I went to college there.
That's what I thought.
I was there in 1981 when Coach Bryant was still coaching. I was a manager on the football team.
That's what I thought.
At Alabama.
That's great. Back in the good old days of the Liberty Bowl that year.
Oh, I was there. Yeah. That was the coldest I've ever been.
I've always wanted to see somebody sell that jacket that Bear Bryant wore during that
was
game.
A big thick one, wasn't it? And you know what? He didn't wear his houndstooth hat that night either.
No, and then he died 3 weeks later.
That's right.
And then, Marty, I want to pick on you because here on the Y'all Show, we cover 16 different southern states, one of which is Florida. And we get picked on about Florida. That's not in the South. Have y'all heard Marty Raybon talk? Have you heard Marty Raybon sing? You're a Florida native.
No, absolutely. Yeah, I'm from I'm from Central Florida, a place called Sanford.
Yeah.
And now Michael Ray, Michael Ray is about 46 miles from me.
Yeah.
He's from Mount Plymouth, Florida, which you go out 46 like you head to Ocala.
Yeah.
To jump on the big 75 highway to head north, like most folks do. You can always know that because they got that little old bag of oranges in the back windshield back there on the way as they leave out. But yeah, Central Florida. That's where I'm from. And you know, and let me say this:
this is an authentic accent we're hearing, is what I'm saying. You know, just because you're from Florida doesn't mean you're a Yankee.
No. In fact, I get asked all the time, "Where am I from?" And I'll tell folks, you know, because of now. Said, man, if they ask me where I live, I say I live in Alabama, because that's where I live. I live in Alabama. But if they say, man, where in the world are you from? I'll say Florida. I go, Florida? Man, you don't sound like, you sound like you're from Texas or Tennessee somewhere. But so it depends on what they ask me. If they ask me where I live, I tell them Alabama because that's where I live. If they ask me where I'm from, I tell them Florida.
Well, that's a good point. And of course, now y'all again continue to live in Muscle Shoals. Which side of the river are y'all in? Muscle Shoals? Or
we Colbert County.
All right. Well, if y'all ever get adventurous and cross the Tennessee over to go to Bunyan's.
Yeah.
Bunyan's Barbecue in Florence.
Well, no, Bunyan's, where you can get the good hot dogs.
Yeah.
Is over in Sheffield.
Oh, my apologies.
Well, that's on our side of the river.
Yeah.
Did it used to be in Florence?
You know, they may have had a Bunyan's.
I don't remember crossing that river because they check your passport when you go between Lauderdale and Colbert County.
They may be a franchise now.
Oh, okay. Well, because we like barbecue here on the show too. And they have the hot dogs like you mentioned that were darn good.
The slaw dogs.
Yeah.
Oh, let me tell you, them things make you take back stuff you ain't stole.
Now, how do y'all get to Nashville when y'all travel? Do y'all go?
We drive our cars up here.
Do y'all go the Trace or you go up 65?
Oh, you mean what the route? Marty goes a different way than I do.
Did you hear what he said?
No, I didn't.
I just said we drive our cars up here is what I said. But
wise guy.
Actually, I go up. I leave out. And when I come off the mountain, I live at Colbert Heights in Tuscumbia. I come off the mountain on 43, and I follow 43 all the way to Interstate 65. Okay. I go all the way through Columbia, through Lawrenceburg, through all of it. I followed all the way up.
All right.
I get to 65.
Too many cops up there for me.
All right. Well,
I don't go that way just because there's too many speed limit changes. And if you don't know where they are, a lot of them are hidden, and you get stopped all the time. It's a speed trap going through there. I just don't go
all you
that
North
way.
Alabama listeners, you're getting the scoop from Mike.
Hey, everybody in Alabama knows.
All right.
I go to Athens and then get on 65 and go up. It's farther, but it's the same amount of time.
It's because you got a lead foot. That's the reason why that deal is. He'll call me and go, you made it home yet? No.
Well, Shenandoah here at CRS, watch them. They're traveling all over the place, and I'm looking forward to see them here real soon. And we're just so glad they could take time out to join us here on
Happy
the Y'all
to do
Show.
it.
We'll leave you with one of the great songs, a song about Mama. Mama knows here on the Y'all Show. We'll be right back.